citizens live with that fear for at least one family member. And according to the American Immigration Council, almost 6 million citizen children under the age of 18 live with a parent or family member who is undocumented. Then, there are undocumented immigrants who were brought to the United States as children, the dreamers. They learned the Pledge of Allegiance, were educated in our schools, and contribute to our communities. They are in every way American, yet they lack the opportunity to move their legal status forward. Many dreamers have a temporary protected status called Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA. This status protects them from deportation, but DACA students continue to be used as political pawns in an ugly partisan game. So they wait for the opportunity to move from mere protection to the ability to earn legal status. These examples make headlines in our news, yet most Americans, especially Christian Americans, seem to pay little attention. So, in May 2018, when news broke about families who were coming to our borders, seeking asylum and being separated, I assumed it would be just another day of tragic brokenness perpetuated, and once again going unnoticed. But that was not the case. Multiple streams of response and outrage were expressed, and numerous groups lifted up stories, including the unique stories of Christian mothers. The issue was finally making its way to the top of the noise. American mothers created photos of themselves and their children with #FamiliesBelongTogether and #NotWithoutMyChild and sent them to public officials via social media, calling for an end to family separation at the border. On June 20th, the backlash from the American people, most specifically the church people as referred to by the U.S. Attorney General, was so great the administration stopped the policy. Those who were new to the immigration policy game cheered and celebrated their collective success. Those of us who had been pushing back on the issues month after month were shocked. Something had worked. We saw that when enough voices with enough outrage and persistence say, "Enough," the madness can stop. Voices were beginning to rise to the top on social media, and I repeatedly found myself drawn to the voice of Gena Thomas. Her posts were insightful and stirring. She had a unique voice that was unlike others, and I wanted to know a bit more of her story. I direct messaged her on Twitter, and we talked on the phone. I learned how she had experienced the family separation policy as a foster mother, and how she'd reunited that daughter, Julia, with her mother in Honduras. I was captivated by the way the Lord had carefully put Julia into Gena's arms to care for her and get her back home. Such an articulate, deeply passionate, and gifted woman said yes to having a foster daughter, and experienced firsthand what would become a global outrage: children being torn from their parents' arms for following asylum laws. Around the time Gena and I had our first phone call, I was asked to lead a group of evangelical women to the Texas border. As I spoke with Gena, it took only a few minutes to know that I wanted her to come with us. She joined our group and visited the very places Julia had been. She walked through the facilities with chain-link cages and saw hundreds of asylum seekers sitting on concrete floors and wrapped in mylar blankets, waiting to learn their fate. She met amazing faith leaders such as Sister Norma Pimentel of Catholic Charities, working tirelessly to meet the physical needs of families seeking asylum. She talked with U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents, whose humanity we needed to see in spite of our frustrations with the policies they were there to implement. Our trip to these places had a huge impact on all of us, but Gena had a unique burden. While we all cried, her tears of lament and grief came from the most personal of spaces. When she spoke, it was from a deep conviction that comes only from walking alongside people in pain. In its beautifully delicate yet prophetic calling out, this book stewards Gena's, Julia's, and Lupe's stories. Gena's ability to write with clear detail the